It was near the top of Barack Obama's to-do list. On day one in the White House, the first overseas call he made was to the Middle East, trying to get the Arab and Israeli leaders talking again. Why the rush? Well, hundreds of thousands of Jewish settlers are moving into the West Bank, building new towns on Palestinian land. And if there's ever going to be peace in the Middle East, this is one problem that has to be fixed. The settlers will have to move out. But try telling them that. They're obstinate and refuse to budge. And, as I discovered firsthand, when they're cornered, they fight back with tear gas and guns. This is a day in the life of the West Bank, where neighbourhood disputes are settled at the point of a gun. An Israeli settler has come to confront a Palestinian family in the city of Hebron. So, Hosni, when you were shot, you're standing here, and the settler is what? Standing here with the gun. And he shoots you here. Can I have a look? You show me? Palestinian Hosni Matri despises the Jewish settlers who've moved into his town. And the feeling is mutual. His house is a stone's throw from one of the Jewish settlements springing up all over the West Bank.
First bullet hit my nephew. It grazed his face. A few seconds later, he shot me in my chest.
A third bullet hit Hosni's father in the arm. Hosni, before they attacked you, did anyone from this house provoke them at all?
We have had trouble with these guys since 1973, since the beginning of the settlement.
The West Bank is the most disputed piece of land on the planet. This is where Palestinians want to establish their new state.
They have here, I think, 8 couples and 15 singles.
But Israelis, like the feisty Nadia Matar, are doing their level best to prevent that by building houses all over it and simply assuming ownership. Their settlements are in breach of international law. But try telling Nadia that.
The UN is biased pro-Arab. We know that. Leave it. And where should we go? Where should we go? Back to
a strict military occupation ever since. It's called the West Bank because it's on the west bank of the Jordan River. And it's tiny. Tiny enough to fit into Tasmania 12 times. And without the question of its ownership ever being resolved, the Israelis are moving in and living on it. They're called settlements. From here I can see at least 4. There's one over there, 2 behind me, and another over here being established on this hilltop. With sworn enemies living side by side, it's little wonder tempers explode. Zev Browder, the settler who shot Palestinian Hosni Matri and his family, went to trial in an Israeli court. Remarkably, despite the compelling video evidence, all charges were dropped and he walked free. So we went to the settlement next door to ask Zev Browder why he opened fire on his neighbours. What brought on his frenzy with a gun? Hello, Mr. Browder. Yeah, hello, how are you? 60 Minutes Australia, sir. Can we just talk for one moment, please? The fact is, Israeli settlers like Zev Browder have become a law unto themselves. A man who shot 3 people and was proud of it. But just ask him why he shot 3 men at point-blank range without provocation. Excuse me.
Says, get out.
I just want to know.
Please, it's my house. Please, please go away. Please go away.
Palestinians believe that the Israeli settlers have closed the door on peace by moving in and occupying their homeland.
It's like cancer. If you stop it at a certain point, then you can remove its effect. But if you allow it to continue to expand, the patient will die.
Palestinian doctor Mustafa Barghouti says Israel is controlling almost every aspect of Palestinian lives. There are now 300,000 Israeli settlers. They look down on Palestinian towns through barbed wire and boom gates. To protect the settlers, Israel controls the movement of Palestinians. To travel from one town to another, there can be humiliating delays at checkpoints. Hundreds of them. By contrast, the Israelis use a network of new highways, built for settlers only.
If I am caught driving on any of these roads, although I am a member of parliament in Palestine, I would be sentenced to 6 months in jail.
Automatically?
Automatically.
The oppression is sometimes very brutal. Some settlers resort to extreme tactics to protect their homes. So Palestinians are fighting back with, of all things, video cameras. The theory being that the camera doesn't lie.
It gives them power. The Israeli army has the guns and the settlers have the guns. This is their own weapon. This is the weapon that they use for the justice that they are hoping to achieve.
Kevorkian, an Israeli, is ashamed of what many of her own people are doing. She's part of B'Tselem, a human rights group putting cameras into the hands of Palestinian families to expose hostile settlers.
There's a moment of this lady attacking a home with an Israeli soldier behind her, not stopping her, and her verbally attacking the people living in that home.
The camera versus the gun. It's a bit one-sided, isn't it?
Whatever comes forward, they'll use. If it's a camera or if it's a rock, they'll use it.
It was one of those cameras that captured so dramatically the shooting of the Matry family. Finding a settler to publicly justify crazy behaviour is not easy. But one agreed to a secret meeting in a remote olive grove. Are you familiar with this incident? Are you familiar with this?
I see him beating him up.
Well, he's seeing a gun and he's trying to defend himself.
Come on, listen.
Settler Elyashiv Keller would have none of it.
I'll tell you.
He said it had been made up, just to make settlers look bad.
You're showing me a fight between people.
Oh, I'm showing you a settler shooting.
You are saying that he's a settler. I don't know these people.
Arrows.
Listen, you can say, okay, he's a settler, and he came to interview me from Australia. Now, who's going to tell me in the middle of the shoot who's right?
Oh, so you're saying...
Okay, I'm saying I don't know what's going on here. This can be anything.
Another thing settlers don't like talking about is the massive government support they get. Their houses are heavily subsidised. They're protected around the clock by soldiers. And they get a lot more water than Palestinians. So settlements are green and Arab areas are not.
You will throw them out.
But Mr. Keller says that's fine, because settlers are peaceful. It's the Arabs who are violent. Do you want me to show you some more vision of Jewish settlers attacking people?
Do you see a gun?
Do you want me to show you some more movies?
Do you see a gun?
I don't
you don't see a gun.
On you, no.
You see me sitting on a tree in the middle of a beautiful place. That's all.
And with that, this settler decided he'd had enough.
I think for us, this conversation is over.
We went along to one of their regular protests outside a settlement. Israeli soldiers were waiting for them.
Every day they are using violence against the Palestinians, even when we are trying to protest in the most peaceful, non-violent manner.
So when the settlers say that you are the troublemakers, what's your response?
This is exactly like a man raping a woman And then he complains because she is screaming. That's exactly the attitude of the settlers. They want to attack us, take away our land, sometimes shoot us, and they want us not to protest.
Israel is now under urgent pressure from the outside world, led by President Obama to first freeze the building of settlements and then, somehow, to dismantle them. Winding back the clock will be an almighty challenge. But Dr. Barghouti believes it's now, or probably never.
How close is it?
Very close or almost there. I am so worried because I think we have really very specific 2 months now. It's about changing the course. If the course doesn't change within these 2 months, then that means the course will not change at all.